Splunk original author, VJ credits to hacking articles table of contents abstract. 3 SIEM, log monitoring lab setup with Splunk. 4 What is Splunk? 4 Splunk features. 4 prerequisites. 5 Splunk environment. 5 Download and install Splunk. 7 Adding a task. 10 Creating a dashboard. 17 Log monitoring. 21 SIEM, Windows client monitoring with Splunk. 24 Prerequisites. 24 Configure a receiving on Splunk Enterprise. 24 Configure a receiver using the command line. 26 Configure a receiver using a configuration file. 27 Environment. 28 Install Splunk Universal Forwarder on Win 10. 29 Windows Log Monitoring. 39 Threat Monitoring. 40 Conclusion. 41 References. 41 Page 2 Credits to hacking articles abstract. The Splunk is a tool with SIEM, security information and event management, like capabilities that can capture, index, and correlate real-time data in a searchable repository from which it can generate graphs, reports, alerts, dashboards, and visualizations. In this report, we will first demonstrate the setup of a Splunk master server, including a brief overview of dashboard creation and log monitoring. Next, we will focus on importing logs from the network environment into Splunk for indexing, as well as forwarding logs or data from client-server systems to Splunk Enterprise. Finally, we will explore how to monitor Windows logs and identify threats using Splunk queries. Disclaimer: this report is provided for educational and informational purpose only. Penetration testing. Penetration testing refers to legal intrusion tests that aim to identify vulnerabilities and improve cybersecurity, rather than for malicious purposes. Page 3 Credits to hacking articles SIEM, log monitoring lab setup with Splunk. What is Splunk? Splunk is a software that is used to search and analyze machine data generated by various CPU running on web or local servers, IoT devices, mobile apps, sensors, or data created by the user. It completes the needs of IT infrastructure by analyzing the logs generated by systems in various processes in a structured or semi-structured format with proper data modeling, and then it allows users to create reports, alerts, tags, and dashboards on these data. Splunk features data searching. Searching in Splunk involves the pattern of creating metrics or indexes on dashboards. Data ingestion. Splunk ingests data in various formats like XML, JSON, and unstructured machine data such as logs of CPU running on web servers. Data indexing. Splunk auto-index the ingested data of various machines for the faster searching on various conditions. Alerts. Splunk alert used for triggering emails or other feeds when some unusual suspicious activity found in data is being analyzed. Dashboards. It shows the search results in the form of pivots, area mapping, pie charts, reports, etc. Splunk architecture. There are three main components of Splunk: Splunk Forwarder, Splunk Indexer, Splunk Head Page. 4 Credits to hacking articles. Prerequisites to configure Splunk in your Ubuntu platform. There are some prerequisites required for installation. Ubuntu 20.04.1 with minimum 4 GB RAM and 2 CPU SSH access with root privileges. Firewall port 8000. Splunk environment. In this blog, we will target to install an enterprise version that is available free for 60 days with all features enabled. You can download Splunk by following the below link. https://www.splunk.com/en_us/Splunk-enterprise.html. Linux version. Create a Splunk account and download Splunk for Linux version by the given above link. We choose .deb package for the installation in Ubuntu. Page 5 Credits to hacking articles. We can directly install it via terminal by copying Git snippet. Page 6 Credits to hacking articles. Download and install Splunk now. Hit the terminal and download the Splunk into the TMP directory by entering the following command: cd/tmp git-o splunk 8.0.5a1a6394c5a linux 2.6 and 64.deb. https://www.splunk.com/bin/splunk/download activity servlet architecture equals x86_64 and platform equals Linux and version equals 8.0.5 and product equals Splunk and file name equals Splunk 8.0.5a1a6394c5a Linux 2.6 and 64.deb and git equals true. Next, we run the dpkg command to extract and install the Splunk server. To extract .deb package, enter the following command: dpkg splunk 8.0.5a1a6394c5a linux 2.6 and 64.deb. Page 7 Credits to hacking articles. Secondly, we need to create the init.d script so we can easily start or stop Splunk service. Change your binary directory at /opt/splunk/bin/ and run the following command to start the Splunk with system boot: cd/opt/splunk/bin/dot/splunk enable boot start. During this process, press the spacebar to go through the license agreement and then type Y to accept it, and then provide the username and password that you created on the official website of Splunk. Finally, we can start Splunk service with the below argument. Service Splunk start. Page 8 Credits to hacking articles. Now, you need to make sure port 8000 is open on your server firewall, and then you can access Splunk on web interface at http://server IP 8000 /http://server hostname 8000 and then Enter the login credentials that you created during the installation process to access the GUI interface. Once you logged in, then you will have your Splunk dashboard ready to set fire on the logs. Page 9 credits to hacking articles. Adding a task on the Splunk web interface. There are various categories listed over on the home page. You can choose your own to start splunking. I'm adding an example for a task which is being added to the Splunk system. My task is to add or forward system logs to Splunk dashboard. To forward logs to Splunk monitoring console, just open the terminal and hit the following commands in the Splunk installed directory with the below arguments. cd/bin./splunk@server192.168.2055.135:9097 auth splunk@123./splunk@monitor/var/log source type Linux_logs index remotelogs./splunk restart. Page 10 credits to hacking articles, and then open Splunk search and reporting console and then run a query in the search bar. Index equals remotelogs *host Ubuntu. You can also directly add this task by your Splunk dashboard by following the below steps. Step 1. Fire up the Splunk web interface on your favorite browser and choose the Add Data option to start with. Page 11 credits to hacking articles. Step 2. The Add Data opens up with 3 options: Upload, Monitor, and Forward. Each option have self-explanatory with a short description. Our task is to monitor system logs. We go with the option of Monitor. In the Monitor option, there are 4 categories as shown below: Files and Directories. To monitor files and folders, HTTP Event Collector. To monitor data streaming over HTTP TCP/UDP. To monitor network traffic over TCP/UDP ports. Scripts. To monitor scripts and commands. Step 3. As per our purpose, we choose and go with the Files and Directories option. Page 12 credits to hacking articles, and then we are going to browse the path where system logs are stored. Now, we are going to browse the exact path /var/log that's from the server to monitor. Once you had done, then select the next option. Page 13 credits to hacking articles. After selecting the system files to monitor, select the next option. Page 14 credits to hacking articles. Also, you can whitelist or blacklist specific directories that you don't want to monitor on a given dialog box, and then review your settings and hit Submit button. Congrats! Finally, you have successfully added the task to the Search and Reporting console. Now start searching. Page 15 credits to hacking articles. Step 4. Now you've successfully added data source to Splunk for monitoring. You can search and monitor logs file as required. Just run the search query. Source equals /var/log/* host equals Ubuntu. Page 16 credits to hacking articles, creating a dashboard, and then now you can save these logs directly on your dashboard, or also you can create an alert that is used for triggering emails or other feeds when some unusual suspicious activity found in data is being analyzed. To add this search and reporting console on your dashboard, simply follow the steps as described below. Step 5. Just locate Save As option on above of the Search and Reporting console and select Dashboard panel. Page 17 credits to hacking articles by selecting option Dashboard panel. It will prompt a Save As panel. Enter the title of Dashboard panel and descriptions, then save it. Page 18 credits to hacking articles. Great! You have successfully created your dashboard panel. Now you can directly monitor your system logs by heading System Logs under Dashboards panel. Page 19 credits to hacking articles. Just select options available on your dashboard that you want to monitor. In my case, I'm watching the server logs that I saved in my dashboard. Now you can watch as many files of your server by simply adding it into the dashboard panel. Page 20 credits to hacking articles log monitoring. This one is a little bit special, as we can go into the dashboard tab, select the options that you want to monitor. For example, I'm going to take access to my server by different protocols as described below: SSH Telnet vs FTP SSH. I use PuTTY to take SSH access to my server machine. After setting host or port, open the SSH prompt, login into the server. Page 21 credits to hacking articles. After getting the access of the server, get back to your dashboard and narrow down the logs to SSH on the server by running a query sshd. Now, we can see SSH access of the server machine in dashboard under saved panel named System Logs. Page 22 credits to hacking articles. Telnet. I used the same pathogen to take Telnet access of my server machine. Use your credentials to log into your server. Let's check what happened to the Splunk dashboard. After getting the access of the server, get back to your dashboard and narrow down the logs to Telnet on the server by running query Telnet. Now, we can see Telnet access logs of the server machine in dashboard under the same panel. Page 23 credits to hacking articles. Hang on. This is not enough. VSFTPD. I took the VSFTPD access of my server machine by using WinSCP, or you can use your desired applications. Narrow down your search by running a query VSFTPD, and then successfully you will be able to see your server VSFTPD logs. You can run more search queries to drill down it deeper. SIEM, Windows Client Monitoring with Splunk. Prerequisites to configure Splunk Universal Forwarder on your client server. There are some prerequisites required for installation. Windows, Linux systems, or cloud servers with admin access. Splunk Universal Forwarder attacker. Kali Linux configure receiving on Splunk Enterprise. On your Splunk dashboard, you must configure an indexer to receive data before you can send data to it. If you did not do this, then your data not going anywhere. Use the Splunk web interface to configure a receiver for Splunk to Splunk S2S communication. To do this, follow the below steps. Page 24. Credits to hacking articles. Log into Splunk web using your credentials on Splunk web. Go to Settings, Forwarding and Receiving. Select Configure Receiving. Verify the existing ports are open or not. If there are no ports available, then add a port. Also, you cannot create a duplicate receiver port. The most suitable receiver port on indexes is port 9997. Select New Receiving Port. Page 25. Credits to hacking articles. Add a port number and save, and do not forget to verify that port is available or not reserved to any other service or instance. Check the status for receiving port. It should enable for listening to the traffic. Configure a receiver using the command line. Use the command line interface with admin privilege in Windows 10 or terminal with root user to configure a receiver for S2S communications. To do this, follow the steps as described below. Open a shell with admin rights or the terminal with root user. Change the path to $splunk_home/bin for Linux. Type. Page 26. Credits to hacking articles. //Splunk enable listen 9997 auth admin password. For Windows, type. Splunk enables listen 9997 auth admin password. Restart Splunk for the changes to take effect by going into Splunk web interface setting, server control, restart Splunk. Or configure a receiver using a configuration file for Windows. Configure inputs.conf file for S2S communication. Open a shell prompt. Change the path to $splunk_home/etc/system/local. Edit the conf file. Edit the input.conf file with Splunk stanza and define the receiving port. Example, Splunk//9997, disabled equals 0. Save the file. Restart Splunk to take effect of the saved changes. For Linux, open the Splunk forwarder directory wherever it installs and locate the file named input.conf and make changes as described above or as per your requirements. Page 27. Credits to hacking articles environment. In this section, we will target to install a Splunk Universal Forwarder on a Windows machine or server. You can download Splunk Forwarder by following the below link. https://www.splunk.com/en_us/download/universal-forwarder.html. Choose your installation package. Create a Splunk account and download Splunk Universal Forwarder for Windows version by the given above link. We choose Windows 10 64-bit.mc package for the installation in Windows. You can choose it as per your system requirements, or also for Linux systems. You can go with the options are available to download on the Splunk website by drop down the option Linux, then select and download package as per your choice as shown below. Page 28 Credits to hacking articles. Install Splunk Universal Forwarder on Win 10 to install Universal Forwarder into your operating systems. Follow the steps as described below. Visit the Splunk official website and select and download Universal Forwarder for Windows 10.mc file. It will download a zip file into your downloads as shown below. Page 29 Credits to hacking articles. When it gets downloaded, open it and start the installation process and accept the license agreement, then go to Customize options as shown below. Further, select the installation directory wherever you want to install it as shown below. Page 30 Credits to hacking articles. Further, it will ask you for an SSL certificate for the encryption with your encryption key. If you do not have the SSL certificate, then don't worry, forwarded Splunk data will still be encrypted with the default Splunk certificate. All you need to do is go with next option. Page 31 Credits to hacking articles. On the next dialog you will have two options, local system. If you specify the local system user during the installation process, the Universal Forwarder can access all your data on that is available on your local system or forwarded to this machine. Domain account. This option installs the forwarder as the Windows user specifies. This lets you collect logs and metrics from remote machines as well as local and forwarded data. You can set the permissions of account in the next dialog. As a local administrator or a reduced privilege user, it does not collect data from resources that the Windows user does not have access to. So, we go with the option local systems and install the forwarder as a local account to do any of the following. Read event logs remotely. It collects all your system performance counters remotely. Read network shares for log files. It can access the Active Directory schema, using Active Directory monitoring. If you select it, then it will ask you to select the applications or log files that you want to forward to Splunk Enterprise or Receiver and then proceed with the next option as shown below. Page 32 Credits to hacking articles. In the next dialog, it will ask you to create credentials for the administrator account to encrypt all your files on Splunk Enterprise. Page 33 Credits to hacking articles. On the next dialog, it will be optional to configure your forwarder as a deployment server. If you choose it, then enter the host name or IP address and management port for your deployment server and click Next. In my case, I will leave it blank and prefer to go with the next option. On the next dialog, set up receiving indexer by entering the host name or IP and port as shown below, and then finally select option install. It will install Splunk Forwarder in your Windows environment. Page 34 Credits to hacking articles. After that, finish the installation process. Let's verify the output.conf file to check is it forwarded to the receiver or not. To do this, follow the steps as described below. Page 35 Credits to hacking articles. Go to File Manager and open the directory where Splunk Universal Forwarder installed. Open the file Splunk Universal Forwarder file and then open the output.conf file. It will be found in under etc. System, local. By opening it we can verify it either it is redirected to the correct IP or not as entered during the installation process. If not, you can make changes by editing it. Page 36 Credits to hacking articles. Configure Universal Forwarder to send data to Splunk Enterprise. Open CMD as admin privilege and follow the steps described below. cdc:/program files /Splunk Universal Forwarder cd bin Splunk add forward server 192.168.0.196:9997 Splunk enable event log system Splunk restart. Congratulations! You have successfully added Windows as a client. Let's check what happens to the Splunk GUI interface. Is it added or not? Page 37 Credits to hacking articles. As you can see, our client is successfully added. Now search your client into search and reporting application by simply running a query index equals main. Page 38 Credits to hacking articles. Windows log monitoring. Let's check it shows or not suspicious activity happened on our client end. To do this I am going take RDP session of my client. Now I have an RDP session of my client. Let's check what happens on Splunk web. Page 39 Credits to hacking articles. Whoa! It works. Great. Now you can dig down deeper it with running search queries. Threat monitoring. Let's monitor what illegal or suspicious activity happens on your client end or server. To do this I am going to perform a brute force attack with the help of an attacker machine. Kali Linux. To perform this attack run the following command below. Hydra luser.txt ppass.txt 192.168.0.196 ssh where 192.168.0.196 is my client server IP. Page 40 Credits to hacking articles. Let's check what happens to Splunk web. Hold tight. It's gonna a little bit special. Run a query in the application search and reporting SSHD session and then see. As we can see it have multiple invalid logins attempts of invalid user. Now you can monitor your whole environment by using these steps. Conclusion. Hence, one can make use of these commands as a cybersecurity professional to assess vulnerabilities on systems and keep these systems away from threat. References https://documentation/docs.splunk/8.0.6/data/monitor Active Directory. Page 41.